how far can you get away with only 42 hours of time? It's not a lot. Some people wouldn't even bother. But that's all I had this weekend. Just me, with nothing but a car full of camping gear, food, and a strong sense that I should be taking advantage of the summer. So, how far does 42 hours take me?
I just got off of work. It's my weekend up ahead. But because it's summertime here in the Pacific Northwest, the sun doesn't set until 9 o'clock, and I'm going to take advantage and go out camping. Car camping for 2 nights.
It's the end of June, and this is my first camping trip of the year. It might seem kind of late to the rest of you, but in the Pacific Northwest, the snow has finally melted off in the mountains, and the clouds open up to reveal the precious blue sky I'll covet for the next 4 months.
This is kind of the moment when people start heading out because it's usually raining all the way up until this point.
And this campsite I'm heading to is one I stumbled across after a hike in the Mount Baker Snoqualmie National Forest. Everything about it really spoke to me, and I knew I had to come back.
It's right next to a little river and a town called Skykomish. And yeah, it's just quiet and chill. It's really the kickoff for me for all the things I'm going to do this season. Can't wait to show you. We're here and just hearing the water instantly makes you just feel more relaxed, right? All right, coming up the little path from the car. Here's my little picnic table. Little spot perfect for a hammock. And then my little fire pit where I can cook also. And then my little tent pad. And really my favorite of all is the river and the view. Ugh. I'm so excited to be here. So first things first is I gotta set up my tent, and then that's really it for the night. I'm gonna get some water from the river to filter, and then just eat my dinner. Set up my camp chair, put my feet up on my cooler, and just enjoy the view I have here.
You've probably noticed that I'm by myself. Does that scare me? The idea of being alone in nature did make me feel nervous before. Only a year ago, I came to this very spot to camp by myself for the very first time. And I was almost too aware of my surroundings to relax during the day, and especially at night. Any sound, human or animal, made me stop. Every snap of a twig or rustle of leaves made me hold my breath. But since then, I've camped more and more by myself, and all those sounds that once scared me eventually became relaxing. So coming here now is like visiting an old friend.
First time of the year setting up the tent is always a little bit rusty, but I got it. I'm pretty tired from a full days of work and driving here and setting up camp, so I'm not really cooking dinner per se. I brought some food that I made earlier this week at home. I'm just gonna have that. So this is what I call my favorite thing to eat of all time. I love noodles, and this is a Taiwanese noodle called mi fen, or in Taiwanese, bihun. And if I love to eat it, I have to learn how to make it. So this is one of the first things I learned to eat from one of the first things I learned how to eat, but also one of the first things I learned how to cook from my mom. And all it is some rice noodles, carrots, cabbage, onion, shiitake mushrooms, ground pork, ground pork, shrimp, and cilantro to finish. I love cilantro, it doesn't bother me. And get some black vinegar in there while it's cooking. And, oh, my favorite. I'm gonna sit on my camp chair, look out at the river, and enjoy my dinner tonight.
So, what do I do out here when there's no one to talk to? Well, it's kind of like when I eat out at a restaurant by myself. There's a lot to observe around me, things I'd miss if I were talking to someone. So many little details that help you remember the experience. And out here, it's just the same, like seeing which fruits are ripe or flowers are in bloom, and of course, watching the sunset.
Oh, I am seriously so happy right now. Just getting to sit here as the sun goes down, listening to the water, listening to the creatures. This is nice. I'm losing the light, so I'm going to wash my dishes, put away the food, brush my teeth, wash my face, all that good stuff, and put all my toiletries and food items in my car. You don't really want the bears sniffing around, but after that, I'm just gonna get cozy in my tent and hang out in there for the rest of the night. I've gotten into my pajamas and just gonna take it easy in here. There's not really much I do, I guess, when I'm camping by myself in my tent. I usually bring a book with me. I have a book I haven't started yet, but bought a couple months ago. I also usually bring my journal and use this time out here by myself to usually take a moment when you get to be by yourself, especially in a quiet, calm, and serene place like this campsite is. I don't know. Sometimes there's a lot to think about, and sometimes there's not much to think about, which is great on both parts. Okay, I'm starting to feel a little sleepy, so I'm gonna go to bed listening to the sound of this water. It's gonna be incredible, hopefully.
Good morning. It's about 6 a.m. It's a little chilly, but I know the chill will just burn right off when the sun comes over these mountains. I really have missed sleeping in my tent. It just feels nice in here. A lot of memories, a lot of new ones to be made, so I'm glad I'm in here again.
I think mornings at camp are one of my favorite things in life. The moment you wake up, this sacred time, even before the birds start chirping, the world feels muted, softer, kinder even. You're cocooned in the natural world and it feels safe. This is exactly where I want to be.
Actually, before I start cooking breakfast, I want to show you something around camp that I'm noticing that can be part of my breakfast. So I've always been really interested in foraging. Working in a kitchen and being a chef, it should be a natural hobby. And right now is a prime season for fruit. But let me preface all of this by saying to all of you out there, the first rule of foraging is to never eat or pick anything that you are not 100,000% sure that you know what it is and how to identify it. Okay, PSA over. So these right here, these are called also berries. In the springtime, the flowers are this like white chandelier, which you can kind of see by the shape of the fruit as it ripens. They're kind of fuzzy, like how a plum kind of has that bloom on the outside, and then when you eat it, there's that same kind of cucumber hint that you taste when you eat the flowers and the leaves, but it's almost like a fresh raisin, and then has a little teeny tiny pit that boop.
Foraging brings out pure joy in me. It starts from the moment I recognize a plant, and depending on the season, if I'm in the right place at the right time, anything I can harvest, leaves, flowers, fruit, feels like a gift. There are few things these days that keep you connected to the pulse of the earth like this. That's why I love foraging.
Another thing that I'm starting to see right now, and it's on the ground, are trailing blackberries. Now, some of them are kind of ripe. The majority of them could probably still use another 2 to 4 weeks of good strong sun. But yeah, trailing blackberries are actually native or naturalized to this area. They are completely different from the Himalayan blackberries that are the scourge of this area and absolutely invasive. But the trailing blackberries are kind of this more tame blackberry vine that just trails on the ground. I found one, a ripe trailing blackberry. A little tart. Another native fruit here is called the alpine strawberry, and they are on the ground. They're almost microscopic,
but at this time of year you can usually see their little bits of red just peeping out from their leaves. No, I lost it. You see it. These are huckleberries. This bush is loaded, and they are at the beginning of their ripeness right now. And there are so many other bushes around this campground that look exactly like this one. If you look closely at a huckleberry, they're related to the blueberry. So they kind of have that similar star-shaped bottom to it. And when you eat it, this one has that perfect ratio of tartness to sweetness, and it has such a satisfying crunch to it. Oh my gosh.
Since the huckleberries are at their peak, they'll be the star of my breakfast. I forage what I want for today and tomorrow, and leave the rest for all the other creatures to enjoy. I usually keep breakfast pretty simple. Oatmeal has been my go-to when I don't want to plan much. And I know oatmeal gets a bad rap for so many things, but this stuff has kept me alive when I lived abroad and worked in fine dining restaurants. No matter what country I lived in, I could always find oatmeal at a grocery store. And when I worked 12 to 14-hour days in kitchens, there was barely any time from waking up and going right back to work. So to make sure I had something in my belly, I would pour boiling water over raw oats, waited as long as I could, and then scarfed it down. But thankfully, today doesn't have to be that kind of day.
These huckleberries are just perfect in my oatmeal. I wish I could have it every day on my oatmeal. But you know what? If I did, it wouldn't really be as special. So I'm really gonna enjoy these because I can. All right, the plan is, there's not much of a plan, but here's what my day looks like according to the weather. So the sun's right there, right now. It's gonna go across here, and then it's gonna hit this little clearing. And when it hits that clearing, I am gonna get roasted. So for now, I'm not gonna get in the water yet. I'm gonna save it for when it's just simply unbearable. But I am going to hang up my hammock in between these two trees. Hopefully by then this area is going to be a little shaded, and then I can have some respite over here. Thing is, I've never put up a hammock before, so let's try it out. Oh my God. I think the tree trunk is too big. Okay, I think I found another spot that will work, that the trees are not too big. At least. Okay, hold on. a little higher. I didn't really grow up camping. It wasn't like this significant activity in my childhood. But then when I moved to the Pacific Northwest, something changed. I think knowing that you can come to a place like this that's only an hour and a half away from the city is just incredible. And why not do it? Because it's so close. I've never lived in another city that was like this, where the outdoors and nature felt so accessible. And there's something about the Pacific Northwest. It gets people. I think a lot of people come here without being that outdoorsy, but when they move here and they get their first taste of the woods, the mountains, the water, it does something to them. It definitely did something to me.
Why is it that laying in a hammock makes everything else seem like an impossible task? All I can bear to do is let my senses take charge. My nose breathes in the cedar trees. My ears listen to the flowing water. And my skin feels the warmth of the sun. Except the sun is about to get a little too friendly. So, time to head to the river.
Is there anything better than just sitting in fresh, natural, mountain, glacial water to take the heat off of the day? Being in the water today was the perfect thing to do. And now the sun has gone down into the tree canopy and my camp is a little more shaded now. So I think it's time to change, get some firewood, and start making dinner. All right, so firewood is $10 a bundle. I only have a $20 bill. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get 2 bundles of wood. Whatever I don't use, I'll just leave for the next camper to use when they stay. Here's my firewood. I'm gonna have to take 2 trips. Come on out. Okay, let's get the other one. Okay. All right, got my 2 bundles. Twigs. All right, this should be enough. All right, I have fire. Yay! While I'm letting it go, I'll just start getting some food from my car and maybe snack on a little something and enjoy the sunset. Let's see what we have to snack on. I have my veggies, can have a little crudité situation. I have, what is that? Oh, that's for dinner. I have a tomato and peach. I have more spindrift. I have hummus. Definitely gonna eat that. What else? Sausage here is gonna be for dinner. And those are eggs for breakfast. So making a pretty good dent in here. I love how people have saved their poking sticks for the fire. I will absolutely be using those. I am using a cast iron pan to cook on this fire tonight because that is what the fire deserves and the cast iron deserves. Okay, I kind of have the fire where I want it. Less flames, more white hot coals. I could probably stand to let it go a little longer, but hey, I'm getting a little impatient and I want to eat my dinner. So we're gonna start. Okay, we're gonna start with the vegetables first. Gotta get closer. Ooh. Whew. I'm a little sweaty and a little smoky, but I have dinner done. It is definitely too much food for me, but I never know how much to make and I don't want to be hungry. And whatever I don't finish, I can always eat for breakfast or take it back home and eat. I already have more firewood on the fire going for now, my just campfire for the rest of the night. I'm gonna cut into everything. I'm gonna figure out if the sweet potato is ready because I'm actually not sure. So let's find out together and let's eat. It is hot. Ugh. I really foiled it good. Where are you? Ooh, that looks, it's soft, it's good, it's a, yay! It is one big mixed up bowl now, but I have garden arugula, beer bratwurst, shiitake mushrooms, sweet potatoes, and zucchini and heirloom tomatoes, all in one big happy bowl. I dare say this might be one of my top 3 best meals I've made while camping. You just cannot replace that char and smoke from a campfire in any other cooking. Ugh, and it's just so special. I get to eat it out here.
Camping isn't meant to be easy. You have to put a little work into it. You're gonna get a little sweaty and you're gonna get a lot dirty. But the moment you stop moving and take in your surroundings, you're in a place that offers instant serenity. That's some kind of magic.
Oh, what a great dinner. I finished everything, even the extra stuff I thought I had. I ended up going back for seconds and I ate it all. Oh man. Well, it's already gotten cooler. It's like the heat of the day didn't even exist. But it's so nice just to sit here and take it all in. But yeah, there's nothing else to do other than clean up from dinner, get things back into my car, do the routine for getting to bed, and head into my tent for the night. I am definitely in a little food coma from my delicious dinner, but oh yeah, I'm tired. I'm ready for bed. Yeah. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. I actually slept really well last night. Maybe it was because of the sun yesterday, being in the sun, and the big dinner. Or maybe now I'm just used to the sounds of where I am. But now, yeah, it's just time to get up, make breakfast, and yeah, just spend some time looking out at my view for just as long as I can before I leave. I feel like I've been here for a week, but really, I've only been here for a little over 36 hours. It's crazy how time changes when you're outside, outdoors, and in nature. Things really slow down in a way that just cannot be explained. All right, I hate to peel myself away from this beautiful view, but it is time to start cleaning up and packing up camp.
I love how Mother Nature does her magical sleight of hand with time and sense of place. When I gave her 42 hours, she gave me a completely different world to live in for a whole week. Doesn't time usually feel like it's slipping away, that there's never enough of it? It's a sign that we've lost our relationship with time. We're overwhelmed with responsibilities and expectations. We don't set any boundaries. And eventually, we're exhausted and still feel like we haven't gotten anything done. We can't necessarily make those responsibilities and expectations go away, but we can practice a way to find a more balanced relationship with time to alleviate those pressures. We can practice it in nature. Mother Nature gives time willingly. Give her 30 minutes for a walk in the park. Give her 48 hours at a cabin retreat. And if you give her a full week out somewhere, you might actually go back in time. But whatever the amount, consider it time well spent.